talked about state of Twitch, the way that everything has been in regards to these orgs popping up and the opportunities that these orgs have popped up. I talked a little earlier, I said we were going to ask about YouTube and everything that's been going on with YouTube for you. So you said that a while ago you were just doing like rants on YouTube, hip hop, gaming stuff. And that's how you built a bit of an audience. Yesterday when we were in your stream, you were saying that there was a point where you were like really, really heavy. Is this back on your Mean Mugger days when you was heavy on YouTube?
Yep.
Okay. I'll ask you a similar question in regards to what I asked with Twitch. Much of a difference on the platform as it stands. What do you see? Because I'm gonna be honest, I see even less effort put into diversity and things like that on YouTube than I do on Twitch. I see even less. They just kind of leave that shit there. So look, like they don't even talk about it. So you know,
I feel like that's because Twitch is a smaller company and it has a smaller community too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that community is more tight knit. Like people watch YouTube and they don't really like scroll down to the comments or leave comments. You don't know how that shit might. So people barely like interact with not so much the YouTuber, but they don't interact with each other. And that's a big difference between Twitch and YouTube. Like the community, even without a streamer's presence, like is a strong force.
Right.
With YouTube, they don't feel the need to be diverse or whatever because people ain't in their Twitter mentions lighting their ass up every day. And that's what happened to Twitch. Like they were forced to be as diverse as they are. Because it's just thick on YouTube. Like I have a bunch of black creators I watch, but there's never, I'm not gonna say never, but I can't recall a time where I'm just like, oh, YouTube is really putting forth an effort to be inclusive, like YouTube themselves and not just some advertiser that's on it.
Right. I think that one of the main things that is a difference between Twitch and YouTube is that Twitch is very much more so a social media platform than YouTube is, right? YouTube likes to try to, especially Google, right? They like to try to pretend that they have social media aspects on YouTube with the comments and the fact that they're trying to make that better. But as of right now, there's no real sense of community except for your community on YouTube, right? You can kind of exist on YouTube and not really interact or deal with anybody else. You never even have to know that somebody else that's watching you on YouTube is a YouTuber. You might not ever have to realize that, right? Whereas I think on Twitch, things like that are more in your face. And we're going to talk about this in a minute. Do we think that might be able to change with what they're trying to do with YouTube gaming? Are they putting themselves in a spot to get lit up on Twitter, like you say, if they're trying to get into this social aspect that is live streaming?
I don't know how viable it is to think that YouTube gaming would have this big black space. Or I don't think it's viable at all in whatever way. I just don't see the community aspects of YouTube just being strong enough because it is so many silos. Like you can't, not that I know of, but I don't think you can end a YouTube gaming stream with a raid, for instance, or just like, send your people and have those communities kind of just mesh together. So, and also just YouTube is just huge. Like, and people, not so much YouTube gaming, but YouTube in general, they don't have any competition. Like they don't have to please anybody.
What do you mean? You don't go to Dailymotion for all your videos needs? You don't go to Dailymotion? Come on, Eric. I
went to Dailymotion recently for a certain boxing match. Which I'm glad.
He said I went to Dailymotion. Actually, I actually just recently went to Dailymotion.
Shit.
I feel you, yo. You know what's crazy? I watched that fight on Twitch. I watched, there was 20,000 people in that room.
Oh man,
crazy. We getting on that Vimeo, right? So we getting on that Vimeo. That's the next up platform right there. I don't know. So
YouTube is like with Twitch, it's like, okay, all of Twitch, like, or Black Twitch or whatever part of Twitch that was upset can move on to Facebook or move on to YouTube. With YouTube, it's not really the same.
Oh yeah, I got a thing I want to ask about Facebook because I know you probably saw that. So I do want to ask about that, right? But so with YouTube, what I wanted to say and get your opinion on this is this is on YouTube streaming. I watched an interview with what is her name? She's a famous streamer and she's like signed to 100 Thieves and she streams on YouTube exclusively. Well, I forget her name. She's one of those famous streamers that, again, signed to 100 Thieves, streams on YouTube exclusively. And she was talking about why she likely will not renew her contract with YouTube Gaming. And part of that reason was Valkyrie. There we go, Sonny.
I knew Sonny knew.
Valkyrie, there we go. Valkyrie was speaking on why she would not likely be renewing her contract with YouTube Gaming. And it all comes down to culture, the culture and the lack thereof on YouTube. It is, as it stands right now, Twitch light as far as streaming goes. No raids, no emotes. Really, you're streaming there and that's it. You don't know if anybody else is online even at the time when you're streaming. That's insane, right? Like you don't have that little thing on the side that says there's 1 million people online right now. I am very wary of YouTube Gaming until you have a huge built-in YouTube audience.